What's up, everybody? Good to be back. Had a very eventful 2 weeks. It's been 2 weeks since we've done a stream, and a lot has went down, uh, both good and bad. Obviously, if anybody kept track of the Pro Tour results, but that's okay. We live, we learn. So the game plan for today is there's a couple topics that I wanted to hit on real quick. I'm not going to take too long. I'm just going to basically hit on a couple things, give a quick recap of super quick recap of the Pro Tour. Not really like my matches. I don't think there's a lot of value digging into it too terribly much. But just like what I thought from the event as a whole kind of situation. Compare the meta prediction that I posted to what actually happened, and then basically after that we will hop straight into some Viserai gameplay. I miss it, if I'm being 100% honest. Yeah, so let's just jump right into it. I'm not gonna waste any time. Thank you all for being here. I really do appreciate it. Wait a second, Donkle. You made an account with my profile picture from Twitter and my name just to talk in chat. I know it's you. But that is funny. I will admit. That is funny. But yeah, we're back to looking at Runeblade. I just haven't found anything that I really enjoyed playing. Those of you who've been keeping track, I've been playing a lot of Guardian lately, and it's just not. It just isn't it. I don't know how else to put it. But yeah, let's hop straight into it. I don't want to waste any time. I want to get to the Viserai gameplay as quickly as possible because I'm excited to do it. So let's go ahead and switch over. Okay, so there's one thing that I want to talk about. Was the meta prediction. This was the tier list, quote unquote, that I put together before the event. And obviously I've openly admitted that I was wrong on Viserai. If I had to replace him, I would probably put him at the very top of C tier, maybe even ahead of Bravo in the B tier. I was wrong. Gotta admit that when it happens. Also, there's a very valid argument that I could have swapped KO with Leviah. I thought that the Leviah representation was going to be a little bit higher. I know it wasn't going to be terribly high, like it wasn't going to be the top 5 decks. I just thought it would do really well. There were a couple. I know Ilias was had a couple win-in-ends that didn't go his way, so he almost made top 8. I think he was undefeated day 1, if I'm not mistaken. Don't quote me on that. But he did really, really well. And but overall, the rest of the Leviah field, I don't think did too terribly hot. Kano did pretty well in CC. Drafting portion is another story. We had a couple people in Prism. So from a whole perspective, I think it wasn't too terribly off. I think KO should have obviously been at the top, or KO was a little bit ahead of Dromai. I think if you dig into the data, a lot of the KOs were like 4 and 3 in CC. They got there kind of like on the draft record. So I think saying that the half of the top 8 was KO is kind of, I don't know. I don't think it's painting the correct picture. It is what happened, but I think you have to look a little bit deeper. But I think I definitely should have swapped Leviah and KO, and then maybe even put KO second or first, but that's not important. I still think Katsu's great. Nobody's changed my mind on that. Okay, so I need to get out of the way that I was wrong on a couple things, and on to the next thing. Just the event as a whole. Okay. I think this is very important. It's a great way that we can, as players, can provide feedback to LSS if they choose to listen via this medium. And basically, I think the event was amazing, right? From a coverage perspective, Ethan, they had Uber doing commentary. I mean, it just the whole thing. It sucks that what happened with Flake happened with Flake, right? That was super unfortunate. Wasn't able to make the event. A very crucial piece of that was missing. However, basically, the coverage was on point. They had the backup match, and it wasn't just a backup match, but they like replayed it at a higher speed to kind of like fill the void. Because that was my biggest thing about the coverage, was just sometimes depending on the matchup between feature matches, there'd be like 30 minutes. And I mean, commercials are like 2 minutes long, right? Like you're asking a lot for somebody to like stick around, stay engaged on a 30-minute break. It's just insane. Granted, it's going to happen sometimes because it's physical card games, but Ethan had a great way to manage that and mitigate that. So I think that the coverage was amazing. The venue was great. I hate LA. Sorry to anybody who lives there or likes it. It is one of the worst cities that I've ever been to, but the venue was good. The venue was like as good as you could get it in LA, I guess. And the banquet and the announcement of the new set, all of that was great. James White actually had a PA system, not just, screaming at the top of his voice, hoping that we could hear him. Food was good. Like everything about the event was amazing. From like other than having to travel to LA to go to it. Other than that, like everything was great. Literally everything. But not a fan of LA. But yeah. Other than that, I mean, I am from like the middle of nowhere, Alabama. So, but I mean, like I would rather go back to Baltimore, and people were complaining about that. I would much rather go to Baltimore because I'm not paying $27 for like an average meal, right? Whereas in Baltimore, you got the equal chance of getting shot, but at least you get to save money while you take the risk, right? Like that's the way I look at it. I think I paid. We were about to do draft practice with Blue Pitch, and I was like trying to grab something quick, so I stopped at a Chick-fil-A, and I literally spent $24 on a medium #1 meal. $24 on a Chick-fil-A medium meal. Like, I guess they have to pay for the security guard that's posted up so the homeless people don't, like, I mean, it was wild. It was wild. I'd rather go to Baltimore, equal chance of getting shot, but save money doing so. But the venue was great. They did the best they could in the confines of LA. Probably. I don't know too much about the city, but other than that, amazing. Amazing. Not Birmingham. I'm outside of Birmingham. I live like outside of Tuscaloosa, actually. That's where the university's at, the University of Alabama. So yeah, that pretty much sums up like my experience. We did not do well. I've never not day 2'd a calling level event or higher. Never. And I've played accumulatively almost 20. I've played every Pro Tour, every Worlds, every U.S. calling since the first U.S. Nats. And I've always made day 2. And we missed out on day 2 on both events this past weekend. So there was a couple games, like I ran into Kanos on Victor. What can you do? I did beat one. I beat Majin for what it's worth. But I could have played a lot tighter in a couple spots, and I realized that. I learned from that. It happens. Some of it was bad matchup. Some of it was I had to take a chance in a certain spot, ended up not paying off, but like after the match, we like worked it out, and it was the correct decision to make. And what can you do? So yeah, that pretty much sums up the Pro Tour. There was one quick thing that I wanted to hit before we move on to any Viserai stuff. And just real quick, I was going to spend a lot more time on this topic, but I just don't think it's needed, if I'm being completely honest. I think the community has said their piece about what's happening. And I'm sure everybody in chat knows, but Brian said that he's going to take a step back from engaging as much in social media due to XY reasons. You've probably seen it. If not, you can go look at it for yourself to see the exact reasoning. Overall, whatever, he mentioned like mental health in it, whatever, I'm obviously going to support whatever makes any human being happy or whatever. But from like how LSS will do post this, I think if the goal was to stay a very niche, stay in a very niche space, this is probably a net negative. But if the plan is to like grow big and big and big, then this is probably a net positive. Just because you just don't want to run the risk of rubbing people the wrong way when you increase the number of people in the space, right? It's just very risky. It's a very risky play. Sometimes it pays off, but sometimes it definitely does not. So, but the main thing that I wanted to just kind of communicate to the community real quick is ever since this was posted, I noticed a sentiment in the community, especially on Twitter, about how, people saying anything that could be conceived as negative and basically just dogging on them for saying anything negative, right? And it's really unfortunate because this whole piece isn't going to last much longer. I just wanted to get this one piece out. This post from Yuki is actually amazing. It's posts like these that make the game. That cat is screaming. So posts like this from Yuki are actually amazing for the game because she's stating why she doesn't enjoy the game as much as she used to. She's giving logic reason that the devs can take that feedback and improve the game. Okay? The one thing I don't want to happen in the community is to people get overly defensive about something like this and prevent things like this from happening. Right? Like, if people make statements like this and then people just run out and start calling them negative Nancy's and stuff like that, then it creates a situation where these posts never happen and the game doesn't grow. So that's all in all to say, just real quickly, all I wanted to say is that I hope the Fab community can understand that you find comfort in people that agree with you and growth in people that you don't. So, yeah, just wanted to get that piece out there. Tarek had one of the best posts on scab skins along those lines. Yep, absolutely. All right. So I just want to get that piece out there really, really quick. Just want people to understand. Takes left, right, up, and down to make some hole. That is true. That is true. All right, so this is the list we're going to be playing. This is John Ho's list from the PTLA. Basically, me and John have quite a history together. Basically, back when I played Viserai, anytime I had a question regarding Viserai, I would consult him. I think he is just simply probably the best Viserai player on the planet that I'm aware of. I was having problems with like Oldham and stuff like that, and basically he taught me like the 1-2 pitch tone alternate. I've learned a lot of strategies from John. I think he is amazing at the deck, and so we're going to end up taking his list for a spin, see what we can do with it. And see what we can do. So this is what we're going to be playing. Everybody should have this list. I think he literally posted it in the what is it? The purple Discord, I think is what he posted it in. So we'll go ahead and run it and go from there. But one thing about Yuki's post is I've kind of been feeling the same way. As we wait for a link, I'll just kind of talk on it. But I have been in a situation where I haven't quite been having as much fun playing the game. And I couldn't really narrow it down until she made the post. I was like, that kind of makes sense. I do need to reset the win-loss, so I don't want to be cheating here. So historically, anybody that's kept up with me and like the decks that I build and things like that, I came up with the Value Briar, Reaping Blade Briar over a year ago, and I love attacking the game on that axis. What I don't like is doing that while everybody else is doing it, because then it just gets really boring. I do like the idea of just running a value-centric game plan. We're going to throw those in because we're going first. And we're going to take out these. Although that's kind of we'll do it that way. A little bit more high roll. Oh, we got Shing in the chat. What's up, Shing? Another longtime Viserai player as well. The other curve list. I'm not a huge fan of the other curve list, if I'm being completely honest. So I think this is a very easy line here. Basically, what we have the ability to do is become ditching the swarming, and then we get to go get a read the runes, play it, get 4 rune chance, which makes this free, and then we secure the go again, not allowing them to filter. I would also, there's an argument where you could trade in the extra value and go ahead and make a rune chant, which I'm probably going to do, to be honest. We'll go ahead and just pitch this. We'll probably draw another one, right? And then we'll just become... And we'll get a read the runes, play read the runes, go up to 5, arsenal the free card. Now, there is an argument to not make the rune chant and keep the mob to guarantee a source of go again. That would be completely valid. I'm just banking on the fact that I'm just going to draw one, right? That's the goal. Nothing fancier. Okay. So... interesting here. We have a Savage Feast and nothing else. Okay, this is one of those hands. We have our Go Against Secure, but we have our Rattle Bones that can be played. It's just kind of expensive, to be honest. We could Sonata. We do have some blue attacks. Also, let me tell them I'm thinking. One thing that I'm going to explain that I'm doing, I'm going to keep a running count. We got Pudding in the chat too. What's up, guys? Good luck this weekend. What I do when I play Runeblade is I keep a running count. We started at a 31-29 split, so it's -2 on attack. So anytime I see an attack, I go -1. Anytime I see a non-attack, I do +1. So it's 3 plus 1s and 1 minus 1. So we're at positive 2. And then here we're at positive 1. Or no, positive 3. And then we have here, which is negative 2, but it counters from the... So we're at, the count is positive 3. We have 3 more attacks in the deck than non-attacks. It's the current count. And we keep that and kind of like make the decision on what we are arsenaling off of that, basically. So I kind of just want to make a creepers play here, if I'm being honest. What I want to do is I want to play Draw into the Dark Dimension and go from there. And so what I'm going to do is just block with the 1 armor here in case we ended up needing the resources to go. Yes, we are using Blackjack, Strats, and Fab. That is correct. After this game, I'll break it down more in depth and kind of like give the understanding before we go into the next game. But it is something I do specifically when I play... Well, this is different. This is more like hedging statistically rather than pitch stacking. I'm not trying to pitch stack, especially in this match. We are not trying to do that. So here, I think we want to go ahead and just get our free card and then make our analysis off of whatever happens. Because they're not going to pitch for all these rune chants, so we know the Rattle Bones is on. Actually, what we need to do is we actually just need to lead with Sonata. There's no reason not to, and we make the rune chant on the back, which is going to make this cheaper if we end up having to throw it. So we're just going to throw this for 0. We're not going to pay into it or anything. Hopefully we rip a blue in a perfect world. That's a good card. We take that. So we'll go ahead and rip it, and then, does that change anything? How do we want to commit to the creepers is the question. That's what it like ultimately boils down to. I think we do. I think we have a good enough hand where there's no reason. We can always arsenal the Rune Flash. That's fine. Now we'll just rip the card. The reason we did it in that order is we wanted to get the Viserai trigger to make one in the back. Go play Katsu. Card counting index. 5 turns. It's true. Okay, let's see if he pitches another card. Okay, so we have arcane damage, so our creepers are quote-unquote secured, and our Rattlebones is online, and we have the swarming in the banished zone, or in the graveyard, to just make an easy play off of it. Wow. Wow. Okay. So there is a world where we can play the Rattlebones. The problem is we lose a value, and it makes the pitch awkward because we only make 1 rune chant. Whereas if we flash in the Mordred, we get an extra action point, which does kind of open up what we want to do. So what we're going to do is we are going to creepers it in. We're going to pitch this, and we are going to creepers in that Mordred. In the middle of a turn, I'm usually not a fan of doing this. But, you know, you got to do what you got to do, right? Then we're going to go ahead and rip the... This will take us up to 4. We're going to grab the Swarming. We're going to throw the Rune Flash. Has go again. We have 2 action points in the bank. And then our plan is after that, what we're going to do is we're going to play the Swarming. And then we're going to pop chest, throw the amp, and then swing Reaping Blade and win the game. Not this turn, obviously, but we will win the game. Unless, I don't know what else they're going to do, yeah. Pretty good combination of cards, though. So I heard. Yeah, so see, this is going to be discounted, right? So we get to pop the chess piece here. This costs 1, and we have 2 action points. So we get to yeet the 6, which makes 2 more in the back. Actually, we did one thing wrong. We have to. I was going to say, I would love the ability to swing Reaping Blade and then this, but we don't have the resources to do so because I would love to bank the Rune Chant, so we have to throw this first and then come in with the Reaping Blade. I play Rune Flash first since you can have 2 Rune Chants and 2 action points after playing Rattlebones, so you don't have to pay the extra cost on the Rune Flash. But you draw tight anyway. Funny how that works. All right, then we have 2 more in the back. They're like, is a crazy world where you could be like a Greed Lord and just pass here, but giving up the 3 damage just sounds crazy. But depending on how your deck is structured, there is a world where, and we drew the Mordred Tide. So we're at a +4 on, so we have 4 more non-attacks than attacks in the deck, which means, we have 4 more attacks than non-attacks in the deck, which means we need to prioritize arsenaling any non-attacks because we have less in the deck if we're given the opportunity to do so. So like in this situation right here, one move that I really like doing is just block out, maybe give... There is a world, so what you can do here is I like blocking 6. Just block down the hand. Don't get fancy. Just block 6. And then make a Rune Chant swing Reaping Blade. And that presents a question to your opponent. Is like, if you take that arcane damage, I'm keeping my creepers. And then we're just going to arsenal the Mordred Tide and kill him on the next turn. It's kind of the idea of what I want to go with. So that's what we're going to do. I'm just going to block here. You could also take the 3 damage and then make a Rune Chant, swing the Meet and Greet. It's the same thing. I just think playing Viserai, you like want to set up. And we drew 3 attacks, and we knew we were going to draw that because we looked at our count in the deck and realized we had 5 more attacks than we did non-attacks, which is why. And now the hand netted a -2, so we went from +5 to +3. So the count is beginning to equalize a little bit, but I'm still in favor of just arsenaling the Mordred Tide and killing next turn. Them having agility on a 4-card hand, not that scary. And this says, just give me a card or let me keep creepers. Choice is yours. I'll take either one. I'm happy doing either one. Sorry if I'm a little rusty. I haven't played Runeblade in about 6 months. So, but I played it for about 2.5 years. So we got a few reps on these types of decks. I just love playing it. I don't know what it is. It's like the risk mitigation, kind of setting up, knowing what to arsenal, all those things. Just love it. I just love it. Also, for those of you mentioning the Nebula Blade, which we'll talk about it after this game. We'll talk about the differences between the Nebula Blade and the Reaping Blade. This line right here, I think, is a good enough reason to value the Reaping Blade build over the Nebula Blade. I'm not saying Nebula Blade is bad. What I'm saying is a 1 card 4, you should never, like, you know, never scoff at a 1 card 4. Okay, so they chose to take the arcane damage, which means we keep our creepers. Let's go. Okay. Art of War, we're going to get a free card. Hopefully it's a non-attack of some sort. Because, like, this is not really that great. I'm going to go and block with this so I can go and rip the card and then reevaluate. That's fine. I'm going to rip my card now so I can choose to block with it. Oh, that's so good. Okay. All right. This is why I love the deck, man. It's like you draw Become the Knight, Become the Arc Knight, and literally, like, anything's possible. Literally anything. Okay. So we can Mordred and then play Become, and Rune Flash is almost free. Which turns this into a possible resource card. Which means we could just get Revel, which I think is the play. The question is do we have a line open where we can Revel and then Ninth Blade and just kill them? So if we play this, ditching this, get Revel. Then we go Mordred and then mix this free. So we have 2 in the back. So we have 2 in the back after playing this, and then we play Revel, which gets us 6. Yes, we can play it. Okay, so we take this. Oh, we'll block 2 just because they're dead next turn. Yep, I found it, Shing. I just had to do the math. It's been a minute. 100% doing the Revel. Okay, let's not mess up the order. We got Mordred Tide. And we go Become the Art Knight. To go ahead and bank the resources. We'll get rid of... Yeah. We'll get rid of this one. Get Revel. And then... we'll have 2 floating. Go 7. Yeah, okay. You just make sure I'm not crazy. There'll be 2 in the back. This makes 4 plus 1 is 5. That's 7. But then Viserai trigger. Oh, so it's free. So we actually flashed in the Revel and Reaping Blade after as well. Because we'll be at 9. Right? Or am I crazy? Makes 4 plus 1's 5. And then 2. So that'd be 9 total. So we pay for creepers. Knocks us down to 1. We flash in the Revel for the extra action point and the Reaping Blade after. Sounds like a plan to me. Should go to exactly 9. We yeet the 9. We have 1 floating, an extra action point. We come in for another 5 damage because we make 2 in the back here. Easy peasy. Chat, I put Viserai at the bottom of my tier list. Oh, man. Oh, man. 19.3 value per turn. Why not play the skies to get rune chance for the rune flash? You still get, because I wanted to do that. We wanted to do that. Yes, we did have some good draws. I will admit. 19.33. Yeah, putting. I mean, Katsu can get some numbers, but 19.33. Okay. So one thing I wanted to do real quick before we hop into the other game, real quick. There was somebody that may not have seen me do the card counting thing. I think I did it on my very first stream that I ever did like a year and a half ago. So I wanted to explain that really quickly. Okay. So let's do that. I'm not going to spend a ton of time doing it. I just wanted to explain that way. It might be of value to somebody, something that they can do. All right. So this is like the stats on the deck, right? We're just going to assume like the normal 60 that I ran basically. And it was awesome to see you play Victor Mirror round 1 at the calling. Oh, what's up, Michael? Good to see you, man. That was a great game. You had the 13 and a half copies of Thunderquake, right? That was a good game. That heave is strong. So non-attack and attack action. So basically, the process that I do is I keep a running total, okay? So at a 29-31 split of what the deck is, right? You draw your first 4 cards, okay? So instantly I'm starting at +2 because I give non-attack actions a value of +1 and attack actions a value of -1, okay? So I'm starting at a value of +2 because 31 minus 29 is 2. If you started at a 30-30 split, which is right here, you would know to start at 0. Okay, so loading these 60, I'm starting at +2. And then every hand I look at, if it's non-attack, attack, non-attack, attack, 2 of each, that cancels out. Your count doesn't change, right? Because you've seen the same number of attacks and non-attacks, okay? But let's say you draw 4 attacks. Well, now your count goes -4 on +2. So you come out to -2. And you just keep that number. It doesn't matter if the card goes to the graveyard. Doesn't matter if the card goes to the arsenal. Doesn't matter if you pitch it. Does not matter. As you see the card, you count it. Period. Does not matter. Okay? And then if you ever play a Become the Arknight or a Sonata, if you notice, the second I played my Become the Arknight, I quit counting. That's because you just look at the graveyard, because your pitch cards are then getting back into circulation, right? So after you shuffle your deck for any reason, you just look at your arsenal, your hand, and your graveyard, and your banish zone. You get a new count and go from there. And now you might ask yourself, why are you going through all of that to just know the ratio in your deck? Well, there's a couple things. Sonata, right? Knowing the mix in your deck helps you understand whether you're going to hit an even split or not. It doesn't always work. It's just a mathematical probability, right? But the main reason that I do it is anybody that's ever played Runeblade, you dread the all attack action hand or the all non attack action. And if your count ever goes heavy in one direction, like I did in that one hand, I was like, I got too many attacks in my deck. Let me block with these attacks and just arsenal the Mordred Tide, right? You can make plays like that that lead up to my lucky draw, right? And you can make those decisions to increase the probability of getting those quote unquote lucky draws, right? Because you're just playing a balancing game in a sense. So just wanted to explain that. So if you hear me calling out a count, that's what it is. I'm just keeping track of. Feel free to do it along with me during this game. It is something that takes a couple reps. When you start out, you'll lose count. You'll start thinking about like a pitch stack or something like that, and you just won't know. You won't know, what to do. But that's okay. It just takes a little bit of work. I'm gonna be 100% honest with you, chat. I've never played this matchup. I got no clue what I'm doing, but I'm gonna do my best. I'll tell you that much. I'm going to do my best. We did get the win, though. But if you have any questions, feel free to ask. Okay. Well, this is awkward. I think that still pops. 9 minus 1. I really didn't want to draw all of these turn 0. That is not what I was looking for. This ain't it. This is not it, Chief. Okay. So if it's an attack, it gets +2. Which is a bit of a problem, if I'm being honest. And it's kind of risky. So the count currently is we've seen 4 attacks. We started at a +2, which knocks us down to a -2, and then +1 here. So we're back to -1. So it's pretty balanced. Not swaying any decisions here. This hand sucks. I mean, it might be as simple as just over pitching. Like, I hate to do it, but I think we got to. It'll be 6. It'll make 2 in the back. It gives us a play. The problem is now we have like no poppers in our hand. And we play right into Soul Shield. That's not ideal either. So we're just going to Arsenal, see what happens. Sure. That's pretty good. Really don't want to block with this, but I think we have to. What are we hoping to draw if this drawn to the dark dimension is the problem? And I don't know the answer to that question. I don't know what we're trying to accomplish. Decklist posted. It's in the purple Discord. John posted it in the purple Discord. In the Vis channel. I think we have to rip it here. Ah, man, I really don't. I really don't want to be honest with you. I really want to take care of this Genesis. There's just not a very. This is tough. We can't go Mordred into drawn because then our turn just like ends. But we have no other way to like make rune chance. It's not literally clear Genesis, is it? That seems horrible. Genesis is kind of good though. Reason I'm pitching the drawn here is we are popping our rune chance, so the value of that card does diminish. I think clearing Genesis and taking the IP is a higher EV play than just, you know, yeeting a bunch of stuff. This is a solid hand. It does the thing, you know. Sure, you got it. He's already played a tome and he just pitched one. So I'll let him get his figment. No worries. What, are you going to play a passing mirage or something? Seems like he played around the popper. The one float. Might pitch his aura, though. Since he has the Potter token. I'm not sure. Okay, so the count was at -1. But we don't recount these, obviously, and then these cancel out, so we're still at -1. We only drew 2 cards. Don't give a shit. Okay, here we have the ability to play Mordred Tide and make a rune chant, make the go mob into amp. I think that's just the play. It's efficient, it's clean. Play Mordred. If he throws down the arc light here, there's nothing we could do about it. Just got stuck. Then we played this, which makes this free, which is cool. We get to hold on to our creepers, get a little bit more value from Mordred. It'll be a total of what? Pay for the rune chain, got +1. Then we got +1 there, +1 here, +1 here. So 4 value on the Mordred. That's fine. It's kind of the minimum we look at. Now, if he had ALS, he probably just rips it on the Mordred, right? I think it's too risky to wait for another priority window. It's one of those situations. Oh, he's letting it hit. Oh, shit. Damn. That was a red one, too. Damn. There is an argument to like maybe hold it back because he took all that damage. You might be trying to throw down like a Genesis during the pass. Yeah, I think that's what he's thinking about, throwing down a Genesis right now. That's why I'm saying that there's an argument to hold the Reaping Blade swing, quote unquote. But I guess not. Paid actor, there's no way. Well, sometimes you draw 4 cards that don't block in a deck that has like 25 no blocks, and you can't block. So sometimes the choice is made for you. Because they have like all those figments. They have, well, he had 3 block. Confirmed. Okay, he's going to swing, draw cards or something. That doesn't block. What does this do? Draw 2? So we get to use our balance? I don't know if I want to block with my balance now. I think I want to wait because this is just damage. The problem is like I kind of like pigeonhole myself into. So the count was -1. We drew +1, +1, +1. That takes it up to +2, -1 down to +1 is the count. Which means Sonata is looking very, very nice. So is Tome of the Art Knight right now. Just to point that out. Because we are on a +1 split. So deck's pretty even. I really don't know what his hand is. Like Tenacity? Like I don't care. The Dominate? Sure. Okay. I got to block with balance here. I can't wait any longer. He could have Erudition. I'll just give him like a card and Grasp. But I can't hold it any longer. Or else I'm like really being really risky. I really need to draw this card to then make the decision on what to do. Oh, see, we played that right. Yep, so we go ahead and pop. Get our card. Okay. And we ask ourselves, what is the easiest way to kill our opponent? Okay, one thing of note, they have no arcane barrier, correct? They have spell void 2, never mind. I was going to say we could heavy pitch into Sonata hit 2, and that cracks the shield and the Soraya, but he's just going to spell void it. So that's not an available line. We have become the Arc Knight, so we can get any card we want. The question is, I don't know what we want. We do have a situation where we can get rid of the Rune Flash, go grab a Mordred Tide, play Drawn, flash in Sonata. I kind of like that play. It allows us to draw. And depending on, well, the problem with that is we have to pay. I don't want to pay. Oh, we don't have to pay because we can tunic counter. So we can actually keep this and might even play it depending on what we draw here. I like the Mordred play. Let's do that. So we're going to ditch the Rune Flash, which sounds crazy, but trust me. We're going to get a Mordred Tide. Then we're going to play the Mordred Tide. Make one Rune Chant. Then we're going to take our Tunic counter, which makes this free, quote unquote free, which allows us to turn creepers on. The whole reason I want to do this is we have the blue in our hand, but depending on what we draw, we might want to just play this or maybe pitch into Sonata. We're just trying to invest the least amount of cards out of our hand and acquire the most information possible because we know we are going to activate creepers more than likely this turn, no matter what. So we are going to send this at Prism, of course. So one Spectral Shield's gone. Okay, see, like that card's like hot dog water, right? So now we have the ability to just, we can do anything we want. We can just play Sonata. We can play both. What was our count? Our count was, oh, we just played Become the Arc Knight, so we can recount. Okay, so non-attacks first. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So +3, but we started at -3, but we started at a +2. So we're at -1 right now, which is pretty even. It's about what we could ask for. So the probability on both of those cards are actually pretty good. And also, because we have Mordred and all that, we do get value if we miss on this. It's not the end of the world. So we're going to play it. I think that is the highest EV play. So we're going to pitch the Vexing Malice because we know we don't want it. And we're going to rip in the Tome. We're going to hit it because we're streaming. We know how all this works, chat. We don't miss these. See? You guys thought I was joking. This is so stupid. Now we kill him. All right, we're going to play the Sonata first. Why not? Do we play this? Surely not. No, we play this, pitching this because it makes the Rune Chance, and then we yeet that. Would have hit it again if you just double down. Sorry, chat. But we knew what was going to happen. Look at that, chat. 8 value per turn. No, I'm just kidding. Different matchup, and we like IP3 ourselves the first turn because like the first hand was like horrendous, and we didn't actually realize the value on this turn, but we got there. We got there. Mordred into Tome is one of the, like, no matter what, you get like 2 value from it and it has go again, right? Because you're making the card that discounts, maybe not on the Tome, but most of the time you'll like have it or be able to get it off Sonata, like an Amplify the Arknight or a Drawn to the Dark Dimension or something along those lines that is like discounted, or a Rune Flash or something like that. So a lot of times, Tome of the Arknight with Mordred specifically, you can get 2 Rune Chants in the back, get the discount, which means you get 4 value almost, even if you miss, assuming you have the cards to leverage that value already in your hand and you're not depending on it to hit. In that situation, I was looking at it as we have 2 looks to get that card, the Tome and the Sonata. So we chose to just do the obvious, right? We were just going to hit both because why not, you know? What's up, Josh? Good to see you. Good to see back on Runeblade. Me too, man. Me too. I miss it. I miss it. We've been killing it today. We've been hitting some draws. We've also been having slow starts, but you know, we're doing our card counting and we're figuring shit out, right? Let's keep it going. We are figuring it out. All right, we got a stream sniper. We got old Tin Man in the books on probably Kitty Cat Katsu. No, he's not playing Kitty Cat Katsu. I will go first, which means we're gonna take out the no block because it's Katsu. We'll put in that. Because we're going first. Do I want the extra block? Not really. I just want to fucking kill him, for being honest. I would never stream snipe. No Nebula Vis. We didn't talk about why I like this list more than Nebula. And the idea is I'm going to take my time on this one because he knows I'm streaming and, you know. Oh, boy, I tell you. I really don't want 2 of them. There's no way to activate creepers, right? We're def ripping this one. Oh, wait, we can filter. We can filter our hand. That's what we want to do. We want to go here, take the best card, which is, I really like this one over. Sure, actually, against him, with the breakpoints, I'll probably keep the Shrill. So we'll pitch these 2, make the Rune Chant, and then play Reed, and then Arsenal the Shrill. But Nebula Blade. So there's everybody, when they think about Nebula Blade, they think about Rune Chant Incantation into Nebula Blade and like how high value that play is. And I agree. It is a very high value play. But I will challenge you to name one other one. Because there are no good 1-cost non-attacks that have go again is the problem. They just do not exist. And that is a little bit of a problem, right? So we're just going to let him Ancestral Empowerment if he wants to. It's his business. Sure. Money where your mouth is, Nebula Blade. That's kind of good. Is it? It's a 2-card 7 on hit 8 to run a 2-block. All right. All right. You got me. You named one more. No reason to block here. We're going to let him do his thing, which he's not going to do his thing. Bro, he's got no AB. Oh, he does have AB. Shit. I saw the boots. I was like, I got excited, yo. Are we doing it, chat? Nah, we're not that crazy. Come on now. Chat one, Nathan said, yeah, I got my ass handed to me on that one. All right, I will concede the fact that money where your mouth is, Navy Blade, kind of hot. Okay, but you have to run a 2-block in your deck to do it. That's my only counter, but it is a good play. But other than that, other than those two things, red money where your mouth is. I'm not even talking about blue or yellow. Just red. Oh. Like, what else are you really like? Okay. Now we have to think. It says no on hit because he doesn't have a hand. What do I do with this? Mordred doesn't open up any lines. Like, you have to get like Revel. What does that look like? What does Revel look like? Become the Art Knight. Ditch Rune Flash. Get Revel. Play Shrill. Flash in Revel. Amp. That's kind of hot. Don't even have to pop my goodies. I'll take it. We found the line. We found the line. Okay, so we said become the Art Knight. Getting rid of Rune Flash. To get Revel. To then go... This is Dee's turn. This is Dee's. Pop the creeps. Throw it in. We make 6. We eat 12 more. We do lose our little rune chant in the back, which makes me sad, but... All right, he kept his whole hand to start with a yellow Descendant Gust Wave. The fuck? This hand's kind of good, yo. Why would you not block? Double Art of War? Is this the old... Is this the double? Do you have the natty? Because if we're being, I'm planning on killing him with this hand. Maybe not killing him. Maybe that's slightly exaggerated. Oh, hang on. Let me say thinking. I'm gonna think here, chat. There's no surging strike on the chain. There's 2 dishonors in the bin. I mean, he can bonds into something and like that's fine, but like his hand kind of sucks at blocking. If we're being like 100% honest. Throwing 2 armor here is such a trap. Like, he has Art of War. He has so many things in this spot to where like I have to throw 2 pieces if I'm even like thinking about it. Which it could be valid. I could throw these 2. But then when he throws down the bonds, which he obviously has, or he wouldn't have pitched one. I'm going to let him have it. I'm going to let him have it. Do your thing. Bonds, what are you getting? Bonds was from Arsenal. Okay, so we had it. So we did good, not blocking. This is still just damage. It's irrelevant. Pass. You mudda bitch. You mudda bitch. Oh, no, he didn't. Rip. Okay. Let's make the best of this. We just play Sonata. Maybe make a rune chant. We really want to hit. We didn't hit. Okay, this is getting even better. Because the problem with not hitting that is we now have to pitch something. Okay. Okay, chat. Okay. Hey. We're cooking. We're cooking. Now we play the Mauve, make one in the back. Play the Sonata, go get Incantation. I mean, it's... Look. Beggars can't be choosers, right? So, we're going to burn the Mauve for no effect, just to make one in the back. And this is now free to go get Incantation. We're going to pay 2. And we get the Arsenal card. I think that's like as good as we were going to get. Like, I'm not happy about this transaction, but... And our creeper's burned. That's not nice. Okay. The question is, can he kill me? All right, first thing we need to check is, can we actually throw the 9th blade? Because that's cool and we're on stream and we do cool stuff on stream. That's the real question. Is, do we do that? Oh, okay. Okay. Well, once again, we have to look and see, can we play this? So we can obviously become into a like a Goes up to 4. Mordred would make 5. This would make 7. We come just short, but we go. We don't have creepers. Is kind of like the problem. So I think the 9th blade is a pipe dream, if we're being honest. But we can use it for Become the Art Knight, and we can go. We can go into like a rune flash, into something else, into something else. So we do have lines. We do have, and we're drawing a card. So let's just block here. We'll get our free card. He could have 2 combat tricks here. If he does, then he deserves it. 9th blade or no ball. Okay, so he had the natty. Oh, wait, no. I want to pop this. I need to get my card. So I could. Oh, man. Okay. All right. You right. You right. 9th blade or no balls. Oh man. Okay. All right. What do we go become into? Become, ditching that, get Mordred. We play Mordred. Sonata, 9th blade. But then what are we getting off? Like, what's the point of the card? I think it's greedy, actually. I think the correct thing to do is not do the 9th blade, but instead become the 9th blade, go get Revel on the Mordred is the correct way to do this business transaction. One thing that we have to keep in mind here is he got a bonds, which is very interesting. So there is some play there. It's Austin, so I'm not too worried about it. But there is a situation where we could need to prevent his boots from triggering, right? Because he's already said, hey, I'm trying to do the double thingy, right? So there's actually if we're being honest, I think it might just be correct to block this and try and say hey, you can't do that. I want to do the just kill you thing, but he's already told me by getting bonds that he has to use boots. Or that. He's gonna pop all his shit. At least we narrowed it down to where he has to go for the triple bonds. Tenacity shouldn't be 7. It should, yeah. It'd be +1, +1, +1, +1. So +4 and 6. Yeah, 7. So yeah, I think we force him into a tenacity here. He doesn't have enough cards to actually go. He can only Katsu his only card in his hand, which could be good, could be bad, who knows. Popping boots, of course, makes sense. I guess the reason that that block was bad, I should have kept the Sonata, was because if he really needed that, he could have just breaking skills. Like now that I think about it, the block actually doesn't make sense. So we have 12 more total coming. Right? No hidden information. We can't block this because we add to this for sure. Oh, he has another Fluster Fist? That changes things. So it's 5 and then 7, which is exactly lethal, which means we must give a card. So how did... Okay, so when we block, we have to block on the tenacity, obviously. Okay, so now what's our line? What are we trying to accomplish here? We have to give a card. This isn't as easy. What's our rune chant count at? 3. Hope he bricks. It's the only out. I gotta go Mordred into Rune Flash into Pitch for here. And then make a bunch more in the back and hopefully like play like a 1-card amplifier or something along those lines. I don't see another option. I don't think it's quite enough damage to actually push like a card from hand, which is unfortunate. The good part is he only has 1 Kodachi. That is a fortunate aspect of it. But we're not in a good spot by any stretch of the imagination. So here we do get in the 6 more values, puts him at 3 with 4 in the back. So as long as we block, we even make 1 more rune chant. We rob his blues from the next hand. He does have Hardened Cross Trap as a... Okay, so that's smart to keep his life total up, to be honest. Because there was an easy line to get to if he just took the damage and went to 3 with me. And then I just like block 9 and then send... Or block 10 and then send like an amplify and like 6 rune chants, right? Something along those lines. Gets hairy pretty quick. Okay, for this, we just have to block. We don't have a choice. And he has it. So what do we do now? We get blown out by the breaking skills. So, and if he has the bonds and he just like had the nuts, there's nothing we can do about it. That's good too. That is also the nuts. $16.5 value, not good enough. With 5 chance on the board. Next hand was probably just Rune Flash into. I could block 6. Sonata, Rune Flash, break into something maybe. But yeah. Is it ever break Ironweave to Arsenal become in case you have? The answer to that is no, because if you break Ironweave to play Deadly Duet, you don't make the rune chance, which means I also don't get the Mordred value. So breaking this basically loses me 3 value. So it saves me a card, but it costs me 3 value, which means it really didn't save me anything. I would rather have the extra rune chance to push in the event that we drew the card. But yeah, that's the thought process. All right, so we got on one of them. We got. We 2-1. We 2-1. All right, let's keep it going. Let's keep it going. Reaping Blade Andy. Reaping Blade Andy. Good old Jason in the chat. You're saying it like it's not correct to play Reaping Blade. I think it is. Mordred than Sonata, you can become discarding. Yeah. No, I goofed that. I should not have blocked. And I realized it later in the turn because blocking even does not deny anything because he just pops breaking skills if it actually matters. So that whole, what was it? Grasp of the Arknight plus Sonata block was bad. And it actually cost me the game, I believe, because it added 2 to tenacity. So I didn't actually get any value from the block there. And I could have just jammed the gloves on tenacity and went down to like 2 and killed him with a full hand. Or not full hand, but like mostly full hand. I didn't even do any sideboarding or anything. I just like hit something. So we should not have Balance of Justice. We should have Crown of Providence. But what can you do? What can you do? It's a question of do you value the confirmed extra chance over the potential extra card? Well, it's not just that. It's the difference between 2 rune chance and 5 rune chance, which means Amplify the Arknight is now a free card to play instead of having to keep a whole extra card to play it. That's the difference, is the difference between 2 rune chance and 5. Do your thing. Do your thing. Yep. Please draw an attack. One time. Well, we drew an attack. That is an accurate statement. Wow, really? Huh. I'm in a pickle here, chat. There's no shot it's correct to do. Oh, this is all bad. This is like legit all bad. Is it really just throw Dreadship, Arsenal, Mordred Tide? Is it really? Surely not. Holy shit. Oh my god. 4 damage, bro. 4. Beat that. I think this is actually like one of Viserai's worst matchups. If I remember seeing it correctly. Maybe it's the other way around. One of them was red. I don't know. Let's check it real quick. Viserai into max. Oh, we're favored. Shit. Oh. 3 card, 4.5. What you know? Like I said earlier, chat, I have the wrong helmet. Probably gonna miss it. One of Max's worst matchups. Yeah, I had that backwards. I knew one of us had a bad matchup. I wasn't sure which one. But apparently drawing like this, it's me. But we will see. It's okay. We're setting up, right? By the way, our split is we pitched 2 non-attacks, 3 attacks. We started at a -2, so it's a -1 on top of that. So we're at -3, not counting. Or we got to count that. So -2 is the count. Then we draw this, which is 4 non-attacks. What? So it's 4 non-attack. Really? Is this real? Do I play Mordred? Pitch, make a rune chant, incantation, Sonata for another incantation? Arsenal Revel? Is that really the play I'm about to make? Surely not. I think it is. It isn't terrible if we double octanes. Yeah, I think we're just gonna bomb him with a bunch of rune chants. Like, what else do I do? Like, I have to. I gotta go Mordred. Pitch to make a rune chant, which makes 2. Because we know we're pitching already for this. Okay. We lay this one down, which makes another 2 in the back. Then we Sonata for another one. X equals 2. And we have 2 of these on 3 with 6 rune chance in the back. Arsenal and Revel. We're going to draw Ninth Blade and kill him. All right. So it's not Ninth Blade. Tell you what, pretty damn close. Tell you what. Oh, man. What's the play here? What's the split? We went from -2 to +2 because we drew 4 non-attacks. But then we shuffled. We shuffled off of the Sonata. So let me say that I'm thinking. All right, so we shuffled, so now we get to recalibrate. We say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 non-attacks, and 5 attacks. Look at that. Perfect split. Well, we started with a -2, so we're still at a -2. Okay. The question is, how greedy do we want to be? We have a good split. We could play this. If we were going to play this, the line would be Mordred into Rune Flash to turn on Revel, or to turn on the chess piece. Then we pop it, play that. If we miss, we go Revel into Reaping Blade. If we hit, we get to do a whole bunch of shit. So I think we just have to take the risk. I think it's because we're getting 2 value on the Mordred anyway. It seems like a freebie. Oh shit, you're right. Which means we're at a perfect split. The incantations, because I said negative. Yeah, so we're at exactly 0. It's like a oh shit. Well, this is awkward. Scratch that. Scratch that. It don't matter. We're obviously not going to... He's probably going to take this. Oh, see, we can work with that. Okay. So what's the line now? Oh, what the fuck do we do? Say it with me, chat. Life finds a way. Giga punish. No, we have a solid line. We got this. And he just banished a mech. And has no arsenal. We got this. We got this. So the line now becomes Mordred to turn on, even though Shrill's already turned on, actually. But we want to go and get the value here. So what we're going to do is we're going to go Mordred into Shrill, pitching this. Yeet bukus of rune chance at him. Let him make his decision, and then we pop chest, flash in, Reaping Blade is the play. Cosplay as OTK. It's not even an OTK list. It's just like you play the hands the way they come up, right? What can we do? What can we do? All right, we got 4 on the blocks. He is throwing in the armor. Makes me a tad nervous, but that's okay. He's got 3 hyperdrivers, although he needs... 3, which means he has to have a recharge to keep this one around to make it work, which is good for us. But we're gonna stick to our plan. We're gonna do our thing. We're gonna creepers, throw down the revel, make a bunch more, pop the chest piece, get that reaping blade in there. Just a casual 11 more. And then no matter what we draw, we're kind of like just set up. We have the 2 incantations. It's going to flatten out a lot of our stuff. It's also going to make keeping these way easier. Oh, see, this is perfectly fine. Scratch that. Well, that changes things. Oh, shit. He has no more AB, which means this has go again. Because his AB's gone. Oh, shit. I mean, it's not hitting, but like, you know. And then we can like let that hit and then maybe throw, I don't know, throw that to make even more in the back. We have some plays. The drawn is tricky because if we don't rip a non-attack, the turn just literally ends. And we don't want that. So all right, so now we got to kill him a little bit different way. We're going to prioritize rune chance over everything else. So we're going to go ahead and yeet the meet and greet because we know the rune chance will hit because he no longer has AB. He's just going to jam the mech in front of it, probably, if I had to guess. Yep, that's fine. And now we have the option to throw the Dread Triptych, which forces 2 cards. Unless he wants to give us another rune chant, and we make... Because we've dealt arcane damage, so we make 1. So I have 2 floating. The problem is we have to give up the card to do it. And I don't want to arsenal this, really, if we're being 100% honest. So I think we are going to do that to just minimize the hand size. We're going to make 1 in the back and then possibly 2 in the back, depending on whether he lets it hit or not. We've secured our creepers. That's the number 1 thing. Okay, so we got 2 in the back. That means this probably is a high octane turn. We haven't seen a high octane. So it might be a good time to block with the old balance. If he plays 2. If he plays 2, we got bigger problems, though. There's 1. Hey, calculated. Calculated. I mean, we're dead here, but calculated. Yeah, I think we're just dead as shit. Because he'll have 3 action points. He can swing, what, 6 damage? 3 times, 18? Minimum? If this is a boost card that he can afford, then It's another 6? At least we draw a card. Oh, this is horrible. We one rip the card. Did nothing for me. All right, let's get a total damage count. Oh, I'm just dead, right? Because this will be 5 action points. 5 times 6 is 34. And I can block 2, 4, 10, 11. I said 36. So I take 25. I'm just dead. It doesn't matter. It does not matter. Double high octane. What a world. And it's got overpower. Because why not? We almost lived. Almost. Last attack. With the old Gorg tome. Double high octane right off the make. Didn't even have an arsenal. Wow. GG. GG. Anyway, we back to Victor or what? No. No. What do you mean? I got high rolled my pants off. Like, literally. He made the mech next turn. No arsenal. Drew like double high octane into with a blue into double cheap boost. Like, what can you do? I know who this player is. A really good player from Hong Kong, if I'm not mistaken. I think this is the Dory player that got ninth at Worlds. Whiz bang to sleep. Am I going to play the Nebula Blade list? Not today. Not today. Oh, they just dipped. Wow. Okay. We're going to put that in for some turn 1 play. And run it. Oh, Taiwanese. Sorry. He didn't want to play. So. Okay, what do we do here? Let's see. Oh, I think that this is a make a rune chant. X equals 2. Incantation. Arsenal. Hexagore? What? No, Donkel. I know that's you. The fact that I read it and in half a second knew it was you. It's too funny. Oh, that was you? Yeah, that was a good rip off of the we looked at it during the match. It's supposedly Viserai favorite, but you know, who knows. Who's counting? Who's counting? Okay. Kind of just want to like Sonata, figure it out. Take this. I didn't do my count, but we got 1, 2, 3, 4. So 4 takes us up to +2. -2 takes us to a perfect split. Perfect split. We'll heat the first one. No pay. Great card. So now we are at a -1. We'll eat it again. Good. Jeez. Huh. I think we have to draw on here. The plan was to mauve into amp. I mean, I guess we still can do it. Like, I guess there's no reason to like risk it, right? We just go mauve into amp, into swarming, into sword swing. Yep. I don't think there's any payoff. Like I don't know what I would draw to where. We do love to see some Runeblade gaming, that's for sure. We do like some Runeblade. Yeah, I want to do drawn, but I just don't know what I would want to draw. Like the best answer is obviously a blue because then I can flash in the mauve and make some plays. But like even then, I don't have Mordred to support the resource curve of like the compiling. So we're just gonna do it the safe way. I know. I mean, this. God, they keep tempting me, y'all. This doesn't change. It hitting doesn't change anything, right? There is a world where we can rune flash, or we can pop this rune flash with 1 floating, swarming into drawn. Then that replaces the card. Is that worth popping that and losing 1 value? We make 1 on the back. We have this. I dig it. Let's do it. We pop this. We hit the Rooney. Leaves us 1 floating. Make 1 in the back. This is a lot better with a Mordred Tide, but we're doing it with what we got. And then we're going to swarming, and with the 1 floating and the 1 in the back from the swarming, we'll play the drawn and arsenal, whatever we rip. I think this is a good balance between the very greedy play and the very conservative play. Because I'm not giving up too terribly much in this situation. And plus, since we're streaming, I'm obviously going to draw Mordred Tide and Arsenal in. Everybody knows that. There's also a situation where we swing Reaping Blade and Arsenal drawn, which, with the fact that so playing this is 4 damage, swinging this is 3. It's a random card, but like, what's bad in Viserai? Blue Dread Triptych and blue Vexing Mouse are like the only misses. We eat it. And we draw Mordred Tide. Every time. We take it. We take it. Okay, so we need to get our count. We didn't pitch anything this turn, which is actually nuts. So we have 1, 2. 3, 4, 5, which takes us to +3 minus 1. Or wait, +4 minus 1 is +3. So we have a lot of attacks in the deck, which means we're good arsenling a non-attack. Okay. Bloodrush Bellow into how? That's an interesting one. What did that change? Not a damn thing. All right, well, I guess we have to go become the Arc Knight, get rid of the deathly... Yeah. Become the Arc Knight. Deathly Duet. Get Mordred Tide. Play Rune Flash. Play Sonata. If we miss, we just read the runes in Arsenal. Yeah, that's the line. So let's do that. Let's go get us some Mordred, which means we've shuffled. Fuck it, he's almost dead. I'm not recounting. I'm just going to kill him. Uh-oh, Telishar. Don't die on me. I keep refreshing after it. No. Okay. Come on, you can do it. Get caught up in chat. It's Nebula Blade these days. I remember why I stopped playing Rune Blade. Draw 2 all non-attack hands. Yep. What's going on, Nathan? Just got back from Armory. Was hyped for the stream. I appreciate it, man. Good to see you here. All right, he's getting the value off the Apex. I respect. Come on. What's happening? Then we play Sonata. X equals 0. Makes 2 in the back. Hopefully we rip something. That's kind of good. That's kind of good. Yeah, I think we just go here. We take it. And there actually was an argument to take the 9th blade. And then flash in the read the runes and play it. I think it's a little greedy. I think I'd rather just get the 4 here, make 2 in the back, and then make what? 5 more? Sorry, 6 more? I think that's just the better. I mean, we're not in a hurry. We're at 24 life. We have armor. It all like I think this is the better play. It gets him under 13 in case there's any transition. And we deny the 2 value from the husk because we know he's going to throw in the husk. So this is 100% the correct play. Then we go just read the runes, get an ass load of rune chants. And we have a meet and greet just chilling for next turn. That we know will be turned on. Sure. Sure. Popping your AB while you're at 10 while I have 8 rune chants on board. All right. Yeah. 23 per turn. 23 and a half to be exact. Good game. We did it, chat. We did it. All right. I had a great time playing Runeblade. I think that that's going to do it for the gameplay. I'm just going to talk for about 10, 15 minutes. If you have any questions about anything, throw them in chat over the next few minutes. I'm just going to chat for a little while. We were over 100 for most of the stream. I really do appreciate everybody being here. It means the world. Like I was saying a little bit earlier, just something about Yuki kind of described it really well. We're in this like mid-range soup kind of situation. Everybody's just trying to grind the highest value number, which some people would say that's been the argument for the game ever since its inception, right? And you're not wrong. The problem is before you could like use on hits and disruption to leverage value, and it becomes not so obvious, and there's a lot more skill expression. Whereas now it's block 6, hatchet, blade runner, hatchet. And don't get me wrong, I love hatchet Dory. I played it on stream for my second ever stream a year and a half ago. I've been a proponent of that deck for literally 18 months. I've been playing that deck, and I enjoy the playstyle. I don't enjoy when both people are engaging in that same playstyle. It gets very dull very quickly, and I think that's what's happening. Like when I made the Reaping Blade Briar situation, back for the Goliath Gauntlet tournament, like with Reaping Blade as well. It was like it's a phenomenal concept, and I enjoyed playing it. But if I was playing a bunch of mirror matches, I would have been off that deck in like 2 seconds. I mean, I was anyway. But like when both people are just trying to play like that grindy value strategy, I don't know, just something about it. But then I guess it's like a prisoner's dilemma as well, though, in that situation, because then it's like, okay, well, who's supposed to not play it if it's the quote unquote best strategy or whatever the case may be? And I understand that point. One thing I also wanted to touch on a little bit is just give some thoughts on the meta for when Dromai leaves. I think it's a very important thing to kind of like have a little insight into, and like how things are going to change. What happens with those open sideboard slots? Do they change? Does anything change? Well, let's talk about it for a minute. Let me answer the question in chat real quick. What do you think about Viserai after Dromai ban? I don't know, the meta seems Ninja Warrior, Brute, Prism, Azalea. I think he actually gets a little bit better, because I think you will be able to incorporate the mid-range deck and like the really like the super turtle version, right? I think you'll be able to incorporate, possibly have enough sideboard slots to fit both into the same list. Therefore, if you go against anybody that's trying to dirtle around a little bit, like warriors and stuff like that, you can just punish. Because anytime somebody's on a strategy, most people approach trying to defeat that strategy by going to one side of it or the other. Very rarely is it on the same axis, right? Like if you're trying to beat a mid-range game plan, like you don't, or a fatigue game plan, like you want to either out fatigue them or you want to play so aggressive that they don't have a chance, right? Like Fi. You don't want to like be anywhere in the middle. It can be very dangerous territory. So I think Viserai gets better with Dromai leaving. I know that sounds crazy because it is a good matchup, but like I said, I think it opens up the deck construction a little bit and allows you to target certain things, I think is the important part. So what happens in the meta when Dromai exits? Well, all the decks that have a way to play a very slow, grindy game get to magnify that strategy with very, very little punishment. The only punishment being in the form of like maybe combo Prism, combo Viserai, and like Vero mentioned in the chat, even like Teklevossing can kind of prey on that strategy a little bit. So I think the meta goes to a situation where you play KO or you play a very slow strategy that counters KO, like a grindy kind of value oriented strategy, or you play something that kills the grindy matchups, but then you're a little rough into KO, right? So it becomes like this triangle situation of KO, grindy decks that beat KO, and then decks that beat grindy decks, right? So an example of that would be KO, like in chat, right? KO is going to beat up on Teklevossing that's trying to block out and do all that, right? If anybody runs like Decimator Axe Dory or something like that, like Kano's that's a free matchup for Kano. You might have Reinar sitting over there in the corner trying to punish the decks that are trying to do nothing and just win on the axis of value, right? And of course, also like it goes to hand flip. Oh man, I gotta look at this. It got spoiled. It got spoiled. I don't see it. Send me the picture, Vera. Send it to me in Discord. Anyway, so yeah, I think it literally just boils down to kind of very grindy matchups and then decks that kind of prey on that, right? Katsu is good into both. I do agree, right? Katsu is good into I think Katsu will actually I think the decks will get so grindy that it actually end up being bad, but I do agree. I think Katsu is a very interesting choice that has game into all three strategies, right? Katsu with AB3, good into Kano, right? Katsu is good against KO, and then Katsu can beat the grindy strategies with cards like Tenacity and things like that. So, Chris, great point. I think that Katsu is a fantastic pick. That's why I had him as the second best deck in my tier list last. I don't think that's going anywhere. I think he will be an amazing pick. Let me see if Pharaoh, send me the card. I don't see where it was spoiled. It's not really because of his on hits. It's really because he has the ability to just block, kill in one turn kind of situation. I think is the idea. Okay. I'm going to show everybody if you haven't seen it yet, this is the Chi mechanic. Okay, let's look at it. So we got a Mystic Instant. All three of them can play it. Preserve Tradition, Legendary. So only one. Put target action card from your graveyard onto the bottom of your deck. If you played another blue card this turn, Transcend. Okay. Put this into its owner's hand, flipped. So you play it, and you basically get refunded the card. So I'm thinking like Gorg Tome is like the closest thing to compare it to. put target attack action, or no, action card, just action card from your graveyard to the bottom of your deck. So Gorg Tome, instead of drawing, you're putting a card at the bottom. And then instead of drawing a card, you put this in your hand. It says Enter Chi. What? Blue symbol can pay for blue and or red cost or energy cost. Okay, so Chi can pay for the hero ability cost, the Chi cost, or resources. So it is either a blue pitch card or you can use it to activate your ability. Do we need Mugenchi or do we think Flying Dojo is good enough? I think you don't need either. I think you just need to play to your tenacities and have really good big turns. I think it's a skill thing. I don't think it's a card thing. MTG flip lands. I have played MTG, but it's only like 5 matches, so I don't know. And they get a shitty no block in their deck. Yeah, so that's an important thing that Vero brought up, was the fact that if you use this to pay, if you use it for cost, right, then you're obviously pitching the card. Does it go to the bottom of your deck if you actually use it to pay for the Chi? Or the hero ability or whatever this symbol is. It's cool as shit. I'm not gonna lie. It is actually cool as shit. How powerful it is, I don't know. This just is already a blue pitch, no block, turns it into a blue pitch, no block that can pay for something else. The value, I guess, so Transcend is just flip. So that's the definition of Transcend? And if we go to the hero, where did it say transcend, right? Like if you've okay, here. So you have to like play this. Yeah, so you play this and it turns it into a 5 block. Card goes to the bottom, you get a blue pitch in your hand. Okay, so it basically, I mean, that's kind of good. Granted, you have to have both of those cards in your hand, but I see the synergy, right? You're basically having a card get refunded and getting 2+ value situationally on another card. I mean, it seems pretty good. The question is this saying that, okay, you need 3 resources or do you need 3? Yeah, replace one. If you pitch it all, it goes back to the deck. Yeah, of course, yeah. Instance for already no blocks, so don't feel bad. Yeah. Otherwise, it wouldn't be a card. Seems bad. 1 Chi, only 1 resource, no block. Well, if I'm reading this correctly, it would be 3 resources, right? Is there a difference in that symbol than like normal cards? Nope, same symbol. Okay. So other side, anti-fatigue dev strategy. Got like mentioned them trying to put it into place. Bro, I'm gonna have to think a lot on that. So, yeah, this looks like a hard draft set already. It's gonna punish people that can't grab a synergy and go with it. You can get 2 resources, 1 chi, or 3 chi, or 2 chi and 1 resource. Oh, okay. I see what you're saying. That makes a lot of sense. Thank you, Vera, for clearing that up. That makes a lot of sense. So it's you get 3, and you just plug in the 3 however you need it, either resources or chi. That makes okay. I'm tracking. So therefore, to activate the hero abilities, all you need is 1 chi card. However, by activating the hero ability, you are forfeiting the ability to use this card as a blue, because all you've done is just paid 3 chi. So let's look at the cycle. So if you play this card, we're just going to ignore the put target action card at the bottom. It's fine. You have to play another blue card, which is historically going to be at a lower rate. So you have to factor that into this, right? So if you're playing a blue card, most of the time, unless it's like Spectra, that's kind of this exception on the auras, then you... Okay. So you have to factor in the below rateness of the blue card you have to play to be able to transcend. Okay, and then that allows you to create a Crouching Tiger in your hand, search the deck for a card, combo, banish it, and you may shuffle, you may play it this turn. So you're getting card for card value. We don't know how to evaluate new because we don't know, or we do know how to look at the top card of the opposing deck. If it's blue, you may banish it until the end. This looks high risk. I don't know. If it's not, if the top card's not blue, then you just wasted a whole card. Oof. Oh, no, that's not the risk. You're just getting a free look. As you banish stuff throughout the game, you're just using this to play all of the blue cards from their banish zone. Because it says all cards. Okay. That makes sense. Okay. Yeah, it looks fine. We have to see more. We have to see the synergies, but I see what they're going for. They're trying to make at-rate blues or slightly above rate blues that have synergies to play with other blues, which forces you into like this blue-heavy strategy, whatever. I tell you what, with all this chi shit going on, this in draft, holy shit. Have to play 3 blues every turn. That's why it says and ors. The card's okay. Seeing as we are getting 3 blue-based decks, you think the meta will have even slower? No, I don't think they're going to allow these decks to be exceptionally slow. I mean, definitely Zen. God, that Crouching Tigers? I don't think so. I think what they're doing is just... I don't know. It seems cool. It seems very, very unique. I think the last time they did something this unique, it was kind of like the Evo concept. If you played another blue card this turn, choose 3. And this also makes you transcend. Which, I guess on the back of this, it's also a chi. So any card that gives you the option to transcend, you flip it. I hope everybody's got good dark sleeves. That's just going to shine straight through. If I do hold the line in this, it works. hold the line? I don't think so. Putting a card in hand is not drawing a card. Oh, like, yeah, you can defend with it and then turn it on. Yeah. Playing a blue D-react is yes. Use each instance to turn on the other instant. I don't know. Hold the line is insane. The new illusionist. It's not the worst. Yeah, Transcend should give you a blue right back. That's interesting. Looked kind of sick. I'm not going to lie. It seems like a lot of the heroes are going to play like that Azuri game style where it's like, you know, you're looking for synergy spots, you know, reacts coupled with sixes, stealth cards. That kind of play style is kind of what it's looking like. It seems like a very positive direction for Fab. I will say that I'm not sure how this is going to work in draft. I think that in CC it has a very good chance to be a home run. Just because it's a fun way to play the game. In draft, these type of mechanics in draft, I mean, if you have very little draft experience, like what do you do? Like if you're the kind of person who just drafts for RTNs and ProQuest, like what do you do? So do you have to pre-sleeve? I don't know. No, for competitive drafts, what they did for the dragons was they replaced them with the dragon cards, and then you passed around that. So I'm sure there's probably something similar. Any card that transcends, there's probably like a transcend token checklist card or something like that. Although that's a nightmare because they're so different that you're not going to know the text. I don't know how that's going to work. That's actually, man, I don't know. I don't know. When you put it that way, it seems like this set is the apology to high skill players for all the variants in heavy hitters. I mean, I don't know. I don't know. The thing is, when you add heavy synergies in draft, you increase the variance in game and in the draft, right? The best comparison I can make is like Monarch draft. If you ever drafted Monarch, there's a lot of in-game variance because there's certain synergies that are just extremely powerful via the Vanguard, stuff like that. Blood debt interactions with arcane damage. You know, there's like certain, either you have the synergy, you do well, or you don't. Or if you both have the synergy, who gets to it first kind of situations. Those can kind of come up a lot more, and it adds a level of variance. So I historically do not like Monarch draft, me personally. I'm interested to see how limited it is. I think CC is, I mean, this is exactly what they need after a set like Heavy Hitters that just kind of like played on the basics, right? They come out with a set that just changes stuff, right? Like this is the closest thing we've seen to dragons since Uprising, right? So I don't know. Interesting. I'm glad we got to look at that. before we close the stream. I'm glad it didn't run away too quick because that it is cool. I'm excited. I'm actually more excited about the set now after seeing the whole transcend mechanic and everything. Um, it looks very interesting. How good it is? Anybody that tells you it's good or bad, don't listen to them because we just don't know. We need more. That could be like the 9 best cards in the set, and then the rest of it, we just don't know. We literally just do not know. So we will see. But I just wanted to thank each and every one of you for joining me on the stream. I really do appreciate it. I had a blast playing Viserai. It's been a while. Yeah, I had a really good time playing it. It was a little bit tougher than normal because I had to like do the counting and I haven't done it in a while and I had to do it on the stream. I'm keeping up with chat, but we got there. We got there. Thanks everybody for joining me. Really do appreciate it. And I'll see you again in a week. If anybody is playing in the calling this weekend, best of luck. I think there's also some battle hardens this weekend. If you play any of those, best of luck. And then also, if you're going to battle hard in Atlanta, I'll see you there. And good luck on this ProQuest season to earn that invite to Amsterdam. Best luck, everybody.